John Claymore here. Now, really quick before we start this video, I got to ask a question. Where is BRCC at? Where is Black Rifle Coffee at with their apology? Yeah, that's right. They're still very, very much on the woke bandwagon. Don't worry, guys. I will do a much, much more comprehensive video about their wokeness and the whole buddy bro concept that I will release on Commander 33 and probably this channel here too. Speaking of which, this video right here will also go on Commander 33 today, right around 12 o'clock. I'm making this video this morning. 12 o'clock, I got a period in the day where I can actually release my videos. Of course, that's part of my updates. But I am going to talk a little bit about them and why it is I would not expect an apology out of them. Now, guys, as you know, I have attacked Black Rifle Coffee in the past, and I stand by my actual accusations, and I stand by the fact of the videos that I showed you, all their donations to the Democratic Party. So don't expect a conversation or don't expect a change in tone when it comes to BRCC, and don't expect an apology out of them to Kyle Rittenhouse, because let's face it, they're woke and they're corporate now and they're selling everybody out. Don't worry, I'll do a much more comprehensive exam on that in another video. By the way, as you guys know, I've done several videos on Black Rifle Coffee, and of course I stand by what I've said. I got to say it again, because some people have said, well, you haven't brought any receipts. Okay, I've brought other sources in my videos about that, but this video right here is kind of a two-part video. This is more about Kyle Rittenhouse's comments on Tucker Carlson that's set to come out tonight, and of course, why it is people are jumping thinking, oh my God, he cooked up. That's not what happened, and I'll explain it here in a second. But before we do that, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. Share this video. Make sure you guys stick around for the rest of this video. Definitely share this video because people are getting the wrong impression from a clip from Tucker Carlson, which could just be clickbait just for views. Because let's face it, he is the highest rated show on Fox News. And of course, he wants to keep that success rolling. As long as he's got people watching his network, people are going to continue to go to Fox News to watch it. Me personally, I don't really watch Fox News anymore. I don't watch Newsmax. I mostly get my news, of course, from YouTube and other additional sources. But I'm going to talk about this here in a second. So, guys, like I said before, make sure you guys are definitely hitting that like button and make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, help this channel grow, and let's go ahead and dive into this. So, right now, the online right, mostly just Twitter talking heads, people, I'm not going to mention their names, they're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse like he may have cucked because of, well, what he said on Tucker Carlson, which, of course, is going to be shown tonight at 8 o'clock. I'll probably watch the whole interview just tonight to see exactly what he says, but I think I know why he actually said it.
This case has nothing to do with race. It never had anything to do with race. It had to do with the right to self-defense.
Right.
I'm not a racist person. I support the BLM movement. I support peacefully demonstrating, and I believe there needs to be change. I believe there's a lot of prosecutorial misconduct, not just in my case, but in other cases. And it's just amazing to see.
Hey guys, you can't find this clip on YouTube. At least I can't anyways. I mean, the only person I heard talk about this before, and I've heard a lot of people talk about this, mostly on Twitter, because they're sharing it all over the place, is Black Scout Survival. And he had a very, very good take on this that I think a lot of people are forgetting about. But I'm going to expand on this a little bit further because I don't think he actually addressed every issue. First of all, Kyle Rittenhouse is 18 years old. He just went through a trial. And, of course, right now you're about to get a lot of lawsuits are about to be thrown out there. I mean, like he's going to be suing MSNBC. I took what he said as proof that he's about to go forward with massive amounts of lawsuits. Now, let me go ahead and break this down for you. We all know what happened in Kenosha. MSNBC actually had a reporter the other day follow the jury while they were in deliberations. They actively, this is basically jury tampering or jury intimidation. MSNBC continues to spew more and more lies about the kid, more and more lies about the case. CNN jumped in on it. TYT was probably the worst. If you wrap all this up, Kyle Rittenhouse could end up, if you include LeBron James, you include the fact that Jalen Rose decided to defame him the other night on ESPN. If you take all this into account, Kyle Rittenhouse could end up with a sum of money that's, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times more than what Nick Salmon got, which was $250 million. It's possible. Something else, too, about this entire situation is that when you are in a case, when you have been through a trial, chances are your attorneys are going to want you to keep your mouth closed and say the right things, which is, by the way, what I think happened. He's 18 years old. He's not done enough research on this organization. He probably doesn't know that they're a Marxist organization. And he, like most other people in this country, support the right to peacefully protest. I actually support the right to peacefully protest. I do not support BLM, by the way. This is why I wanted you guys to stick around for the whole video, because I noticed that my drop time is coming off. Maybe it's something I'm saying earlier in the videos. I guess I just need to make better videos. And of course, as you guys know, I'm still buried in the algorithm. But the thing is this right here. when you're going into these civil cases, you want to make sure there's no federal charges pending, okay? And we all know that the liberals in the Senate and the liberals in Congress, they want to charge him with some type of federal crap, which, by the way, nothing's going to stick because it was not a civil rights violation. Them calling him a white supremacist is absolutely ridiculous. Meanwhile, this right here happens literally 2 days after this entire conversation. A black nationalist decides to run over 40 people at a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. 5 dead, more wounded, as you guys are seeing here. By the way, this guy right here is actually a black nationalist. Don't worry, I'll bring up some more videos on him, some more information will actually be accumulated throughout the day on this particular individual. I do know that he's a registered sex offender. He even released videos. There's a guy on Twitter, his account's called The Cocaina. You guys might want to give him a look because he shared it all today. This morning, right after I woke up, I rolled on Twitter at about 8 o'clock. I was like, wow, this guy's got all this type of crap. But yet the media wants to cover that up. He's also made a lot of very, very anti-gay slurs. They're probably going to focus more on that there rather than him being a black nationalist. And don't worry, I will be doing videos on potential race wars and what the actual end game of these race wars really and truly is, because a lot of people are a little bit confused of what the actual end game is. I actually know what the end game is, of course. But back to Rittenhouse. You see, Kyle has got to behave himself going forward because in civil court, it depends more on what you say. You see what I'm saying? It's not so much on the actions. Now, somebody will say something like, well, he beat the criminal case. Okay, look. O.J. Simpson beat the criminal case but lost the civil case, okay? You see what I'm saying? Kyle's lawyers want to make sure that he wins the civil cases so that way he gets paid. The boy is 18 years old. He lives in Antioch, Illinois. He can't go anywhere without anybody saying, hey, man, it's Kyle Rittenhouse. People are going to hate him regardless. Very, very polarizing figure. So Kyle's looking at this situation. He's saying, well, you know what? And maybe his attorneys even told him. He said, look, Kyle, you might want to say something like you support BLM so that way they won't use it against you in the civil case if you don't say that. You see, it helps go ahead and get you out in front of that. Of course, having Tucker Carlson help with there kind of helps the situation out. You see, Tucker Carlson, for the most part, is even deemed credible, even by the left-wing sources. You can tell this because they sort of go crazy every time he talks. Remember something, anytime a liberal gets triggered, it's probably because you told the damn truth. And something else, too, and going back to this whole notion of his family, Kyle lives with his mother. Kyle's thinking about his mother. You see, Kyle's thinking is probably, look, I could get a bunch of money here and I could move my family. I could move my father out of Kenosha. I could move my grandmother. I could move all my family out of Kenosha and all my family out of Antioch, Illinois, and I can move us all somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? This is about money. This is about protecting his family. It's about protecting himself going forward. I don't know, man. Maybe Kyle might move somewhere like North Texas. North Texas is perfect for him. Nobody's going to bother him. Oh, how about Florida? Nobody's going to bother him. I mean, he is 18 years old. I mean, he's starting to get the whole notion of girls and things of that nature there. Florida's perfect for that. There's a nice red state. Or maybe he's considering moving, I don't know, somewhere like maybe Wyoming or Montana. You see, Kyle is trying to get money to get his family out of those areas. In order for him to do that, he can't say anything that's going to, I don't know, I guess trigger the rage mob. Go ahead and get it out there. Look, man, I'm not a racist. I support BLM, even though he probably doesn't really support them once he actually researches their message. Did you ever think about that right there? He's trying to behave himself so that way he can actually stand a chance of winning the civil cases. By the way, the prosecution in this case was absolutely ridiculous. They were terrible. I mean, they broke every rule they could break just to try to get a guilty verdict, or they even, in most cases, many people have already theorized that what the prosecution was really doing was they were trying to get a mistrial so that way they could retry it again without Gage Grosskreutz, because his testimony, in my opinion, completely sunk their case. But like I said before, he is doing this not because he's cucking. He is doing this right here because he needs to protect his family. He is doing this right here because he needs to get the money so that way he can move his family away from harm's way. Because everywhere he goes in that section of the country, he's going to be under scrutiny. He's going to be attacked. I mean, have you noticed that Nicholas Salmon only comes on every now and again to talk to Fox News? Because Nicholas Salmon does not have to do anything but that. They pay him a little bit of money because he goes up there and he gives his story, he gives his testimony. Other than that right there, what's Nicholas Salmon doing? Absolutely nothing. He knows he's set up for life for that $250 million that he got. Also, Kyle's got to pay the legal fees. This right here is the biggest reason why I want you guys to stick around for the full video and hear me out, because what Kyle is doing is not cucking. He is simply protecting his family. He is simply trying to make more money, get more money in these lawsuits. And by the way, those lawsuits include TYT, Cenk Uygur. He's going to get sued. MSNBC is going to get sued. Probably ESPN, because they keep bringing it up, they keep defaming him up there. Joe Biden himself will probably get sued because of that tweet that he had a long time ago called the face of white supremacy. Kyle has got a chance at getting 4 to 5 times more money than what Nicholas Salmon did, and Kyle's taking advantage of his attorneys. His lawyers have told him, go out there and say this stuff right here so that way you won't receive any federal charges. Also, one more thing, too. MSNBC and all these networks, they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to attack him for years, so there's more and more material for him that he can use in a case. These people are so stupid, they don't realize that what they need to do is they need to start reporting things accurately, but they're not doing that. They're continuing with the bullshit and they're continuing with the lies. Guys, John Claymore here. I just figured you guys needed an explanation out there of why it is that Kyle Rittenhouse is saying what he's saying, what he's doing, and most of it is very much common sense, but because we're so emotional, we're so wrapped up in emotions, and we're so wrapped up in cancel culture, yes, it exists on the right too, that we can't do this. Guys, once again, John Claymore here. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, share this video, get this post out there, share it to Facebook, pass it around between friends, hit that like button so that way the algorithm will pick it up, and I will see you guys later.